Few rulers in history have been as feared as Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar. Born into power, stripped of his manhood, and driven by vengeance, he became one of the most ruthless kings of Persia. He founded a dynasty that, despite numerous challenges, endured for more than a century. It seemed as though the only person capable of rescuing Iran from political turmoil was one who had no personal life, spending most of his time not on a royal throne or in a harem, but in the saddle and under a tent. But before we dive into his reign of terror, let's first understand the Qajars. Who were they, and why did they matter? Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar was the founder of the Qajar dynasty. The Qajars were a Turkic-speaking tribe who migrated into Persia centuries ago. By the 17th century, they had become a formidable military force under the Safavid dynasty. But when the Safavids fell, Persia plunged into chaos, and the Qajars sought power. In the 18th century, Persia was ruled by shifting dynasties. The Afsharids and Zans saw the Qajars as a threat, and in this turbulent era, a young prince, Aga Muhammad Khan, was born. But his destiny took a horrifying turn. At the age of 6, Aga Muhammad Khan was captured by Adil Shah, the ruler of Persia. To ensure the Qajars never reclaimed power, the young prince was subjected to an unthinkable fate. He was castrated, forever robbing him of the ability to produce heirs. Castrating a prince in the patriarchal society of that time meant destroying his chances of ruling. In the tribal culture of that era, castration or blinding was a common form of punishment. The prevailing belief was that only a man with an intact and healthy body was fit to rule. But this act of cruelty did not break Aga Muhammad Khan. Instead, it ignited a burning hatred that would drive him for the rest of his life. And when he finally rose to power, no one would be spared his wrath. The castration of Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar had a profoundly damaging psychological impact on him, turning him into a vengeful and ruthless figure. Sir John Malcolm, describing Aga Muhammad Khan's appearance and characteristics, writes, "He had a frail physique, such that from a distance he appeared like a 14-year-old boy. His hairless, deeply wrinkled face resembled that of an elderly woman. When angered, his expression became terrifying, which is why he did not want anyone to look directly at him." For years, Lutf Ali Khan Zand, the last ruler of the Zand dynasty, had fought desperately against Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar. A warrior of unmatched bravery, he refused to surrender. But in 1794, fate betrayed him. After the fall of Bam, Lutf Ali Khan was captured and delivered to Tehran. Aga Muhammad Khan, his ruthless rival, had waited for this moment. He didn't just want victory, he wanted humiliation. The young Zand king was tortured for months. His eyes were gouged out, his body broken. He was paraded in the streets, a once mighty warrior reduced to a spectacle of suffering. And then Aga Muhammad Khan gave the final order. Some say he was strangled. Others whisper that his agony was prolonged, his death slow and excruciating. But one thing was certain: Lutf Ali Khan was gone, and with him the Zand dynasty. With his rival dead, Aga Muhammad Khan stood as the undisputed ruler of Persia. The message was clear: those who defied him would suffer, not just in life, but in legend. After years of political turmoil, Aga Muhammad Khan fought his way back to power. In 1789, he declared himself Shah of Persia, marking the beginning of the Qajar dynasty. But he didn't just rule. He dominated, crushing his enemies with an iron fist. Despite his brutality, Aga Muhammad Khan was a scholar at heart. He was a devoted reader, fascinated by history, philosophy, and strategy. Even in war, he carried his library with him, studying past empires to shape his own rule. Although he was castrated, Aga Muhammad Khan kept one of the largest harems in Persian history. But this was not about desire. It was about power. Why did he keep a harem? A large harem showed dominance over Persia. Women were used as spies and leverage against noble families, and his harem masked his castration, preventing rivals from using it against him. In 1794, Aga Muhammad Khan besieged Kerman, a city that had supported his rival. When it fell, he unleashed pure terror. Thousands of men were executed, and 20,000 women and children were enslaved. But his cruelty did not end there. By the Shah's order, thousands of men had their eyes gouged out. Their severed eyes were stacked into a grotesque mountain, a warning to all who dared defy him. Even with his terrifying reign, even the most powerful rulers cannot escape fate. In 1797, Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar, after consolidating his rule, sought to strengthen the central government and curtail the autonomy of khans, tribal leaders, and local governors. He was determined to put an end to the long-standing tradition of regional rulers acting independently, disregarding the authority of the central government. While his policies successfully brought these factions under his control for a time, they also bred resentment among some of his own commanders and allies who began to see him as a threat to their power. One such figure was Sadek Khan Shagagi, a highly ambitious general in Aga Muhammad Khan's army. Though he remained loyal for a time, he eventually grew frustrated with the ruler's unyielding grip on power. Unable to openly challenge Aga Muhammad Khan, Sadek Khan devised a plot to eliminate him. He succeeded in bribing or manipulating two of the ruler's personal servants, convincing them to carry out the assassination. In a moment of opportunity, these two turned on Aga Muhammad Khan and murdered him in his tent. The precise details of the killing remain shrouded in history, but what is certain is that the formidable ruler met his end at the hands of his own attendants. With his death, the Qajar dynasty faced a turning point. Power swiftly passed to his nephew, Fath Ali Shah, ushering in a new chapter in Persian history. Was Aga Muhammad Khan a brilliant strategist or a ruthless monster? He united Persia, but at a cost paid in blood. His dynasty, the Qajars, would rule for over a century. But his legacy remains one of fear and power.